the time, it's because you're probably not eating very healthy. And also too, probably because you're not feeding yourself mentally healthy. All right? So we have to realize that dukkha of the mind hits us in every aspect of our life, not only in judgment, but in how we treat our bodies, right? So what happens in yoga, those people that take on yoga, yoga is a way of life, right? It is a way of life. It is a way of living, right? So if you take on the yogic way, you honor that body. You begin to honor the body. You begin to honor everything that happens, right? Our minds, our thoughts. What are you reading? What are you filling your mind with? Because let me tell you, the last 45 minutes before you go to sleep, and I think I've told you before, the last 45 minutes before you go to sleep, that which you dwell upon, you create upon. Let me repeat that. That which you dwell upon, you create upon subconsciously. So, as you are sleeping, 45 minutes before you went to sleep, you will begin to create those neural connections in your mind. And let me give you an example. How many of you guys have ever watched something and then you wake up the next day and you dream, and your dream was very much similar and familiar to what you were watching prior to going to sleep? Anybody? Yeah, right? And how many of us, if you go to sleep angry, have a fitful night? Right? And you sometimes you even wake up and you're still full of anger. Yes or no? And then some of us go to sleep being really, really depressed, and guess what? You wake up depressed. You've got to feed your mind healthy, positive things before you go to sleep. That's the yogic way. That's what yoga tells us. Get rid of the dukkha before you go to sleep. Right? Those judgment thoughts, those fear-based thoughts. And we're in fear-based all the time because we're always afraid of what people are going to think about us. How many times have you stopped yourself from doing something because you were afraid of what somebody else might think of you? Yes or no? So let me tell you how it works. You spend your 20s and your 30s worried about what everybody else is going to think of you. Then you spend your 40s looking at that and thinking, I shouldn't have wasted my time. And by the time you're 50s, you don't give a shit anymore because you finally got wise. But you can be wise prior to and change your destination in life, right? So think about those things that no longer serve you. Think about those beliefs that you hooked into when you were a child. That's what the journal is for. Your homework now is this, okay? I want you to spend 30 minutes for the next, what's my favorite number? 10. For the next 10 days, spend 30 minutes, and I don't care when it is. You fit that 30 minutes in however you feel. So if you can only do 10 minutes now, 10 minutes later, 10 minutes, but total of 30 minutes. And in that 10 minutes, here's what I want you to do. You guys have all had English class, right? Have you ever had what we call the free write, right? The teacher goes and she says, just start writing, right? Well, in yoga, we call it brain dump, right? So I'm going to ask you to brain dump. I want you to write for 10 minutes, but I want you to focus on the thoughts that no longer serve you. What are all your thoughts? Your brain dump, right? What are all your thoughts? I'm not strong enough. I'm not good enough. How can I get this done? What if I don't get enough money? What if I do make too much money? Will people still care for me? What am I? All of those thoughts. And just begin to notice. Because by brain dumping those thoughts, we are now releasing them. We're releasing them. They're no longer going to have a hold on us anymore. We got to release them. Get them out. Get them on paper. And then on the full moon, we're going to do something with those. Okay? Ooh, witchcraft. Right? So what I want you to do for the next 10 days is write that down, just in perfect timing, so that we can get rid of them. And then we're going to create new thoughts on the new moon, right? Think about all those things. Self-destruction, dukkha. Self-obstruction. How do you hold yourself back? What are the thoughts that no longer are serving you? Right? So how many of you guys, let me just give you an example. How many of you guys have ever applied to a job, but prior to applying for a job, in your mind, it goes something like this. Oh my God, I'm going to apply for the job. They probably won't hire me. They're probably looking for somebody else. I don't have all the qualifications. Oh my God. What if they want me to work on Saturday? I can't work on Saturday. Oh my God, I got to go to church Saturday. Oh, well, what if they don't even, oh, I know, they're not even going to look at my resume because of my name. Oh, no. They probably know. Yes or no? Yes. That, my friends, is dukkha. That, my friends, is the egoic mind trying to stop you from doing what you believe. Right? So here's what I want you to do. Take your hands and put them on your head. Both hands. And now repeat. What comes from the mind is dukkha.
What comes from the mind is dukkha.
Now put your hands on your belly, on your third chakra. What comes from here, from within, comes from my intuitive voice. I now resolve to listen to my intuitive voice. Take a deep breath, inhale, and exhale. Now, why do you think I had you do that? Besides the fact that I'm weird. Why do you think I had you do that?
To feel the difference?
Yeah, to feel the difference. So when you remind yourself, when you start to think of those things, I want you to put your hands on your head. Because everything that comes out of your head, really, here, you guys are going to go to your math teacher and say, my yoga teacher said, don't believe anything my head says, right? So this doesn't make any sense, right? No, you don't want to do that. But here's what I'm going to tell you, is that the things that mean the most to us, we feel them in our gut. Do we not?
Yes.
How many times haven't you decided not to do something because you thought it was more rational not to do something, and then you regret it? And then you say, I should have listened. I felt it in my gut. Do we not say that?
Yes.
And sometimes it can cost us dearly when we don't listen to that. Right? Very dearly, very dearly. So begin to listen to that intuitive voice inside your third chakra. Right? So we've got the homework. I want you to start reading the first chakra. You guys have already started, yes? We're going to be moving next week into the second chakra. I want you to read it and reread it. How long are the pages, guys? Short, like maybe 2 pages, right? So I want you to read it and reread it. Why do I have you do that, guys?
To program it?
Not necessarily to program it, but every time you read it, something else happens in your mind. Something else awakens. Something else clicks. right? So the magic number for our brain to actually connect, or for our intuitive voice that has been shut down for so long to connect, is a magic number. That number is 11. 11. Now, who can tell me about the number of 11? I love numerology. That is a sacred number, right? That is a sacred number. 11, right, is what we call in numerology a sacred number, because it reminds us that there is a union of two worlds, your mental world and your intuitive world, right? So know that. And stay out of the dukkha, guys. No dukkha. Does everybody understand the homework?
Yeah.
Questions? We got it.